I would like to express my warm gratitude to the representatives of the public sector and entrepreneurs for participating in our event today, which, and I'm absolutely convinced, will contribute to qualitative strengthening of the Polish-Kenyan dialogue. Ladies and gentlemen, cooperation of our economies is growing dynamically, and that for sure is a reason for satisfaction. Nevertheless, we have to make efforts to ensure that the potential of this cooperation is used even stronger and even more effectively. I hope that this visit, this exceptional moment, as we both said with Mr. President, after 61 years since the establishment of diplomatic relations, this is the first visit paid by the head of Polish state here to Kenya. And I do believe that it is going to be a very strong impulse, which soon will be amplified by the visit of Mr. President Ruto in Warsaw. Today, I invited Mr. President to visit us in Poland. I hope that this will create the synergy and give you additional opportunities to invest, but first and foremost, additional possibilities to join efforts with your partners in Kenya. The fact that the potential of cooperation is vast is confirmed by recent Polish economic missions to Kenya, during which study visits were held of those entrepreneurs who are interested in cooperation from sectors such as IT, construction. In this context, I'm very happy that during the official part of my visit, memoranda of understanding was signed, which should translate into forging even closer economic relations between our two countries. Your Excellency, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, I had numerous conversations with entrepreneurs, and I know that Polish business sees Africa as an important place for investment and development of technological innovations. Kenya is for Polish companies of ICT sector an extremely attractive partner, among others, due to one of the most stable paths of economic development on the African continent. It is also important that Kenya has such a strong position in the region and that it has a big economic market. In this context, Poland, together with its technological achievements, including cybersecurity, and with its rich experience of transformation, has a chance to play a significant role as one of the partners in Kenya's development. Other also promising areas of our cooperation is the agri-food sector, encompassing also technologies increasing the effectiveness of agricultural production and innovative green technologies. I am pleased especially that Kenya is interested in protecting and the conservation of nature. Poland has a lot to offer here, just like in the area of providing drone technologies. We have at our disposal technologically advanced products and innovative services which are conducive to solving concrete, many times complex environmental problems. At the same time, the products and services which Polish companies offer are competitive in terms of price, quality, and efficiency.
Your Excellency, I am proud to announce that the partnership between Kenya and Poland fully meets all the requirements for us to take this to the next level. We are quite fortunate in the sense that each of our countries is abundantly endowed with what we need from each other. We have, as you have heard, a robust, highly technical, highly skilled, professional labor force. And I am very happy that we are signing the agreement between our two private sector players on the training and upskilling of our workforce and human capital to be able to meet the highest standards of labor across the world. And I want to confirm that the ministry responsible for TVET, and I see the director here, I am going to expect that the 15 TVETs across Kenya who will benefit from this assignment and training trainers and also training the 10,000 young people in our TVETs and to equip them with the skills necessary for them not just to work in Kenya, but to be a global workforce that meets every standard that is required globally. Let me also take this opportunity to ask our members of parliament, because we already signed the economic partnership agreement, that as parliament comes into session next week, we expect that parliament will take up their responsibility to ratify the economic partnership agreement so that we can unlock the market that it gives to us in all countries in Europe, including Poland, but also to move us to the next step of trade in services, where we can unlock the potential of trade in labor across Europe using Kenyan expertise. Let me take this opportunity once more on behalf of the people and government of Kenya. Again, Mr. President, to welcome you to this business forum. I understand that there was an engagement last year with our two teams from both investors, business people, and the private sector, and they did consummate two MOUs that set up the infrastructure necessary for business to engage in a less bureaucratic environment and to give both Kenyan and Polish business people the opportunity to look at the investment opportunities, investment options that they may want to consider. Looking at Kenya as a very strategic location in our region, as was explained by CS Miano, that we have from Kenya access to the East African Community Market, access to the tripartite market of SADC, EAC, and COMESA, and of course we have access to the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. These are opportunities that are important as we celebrate 60 years of relations between our two countries. His Excellency the President has made this historic visit to Kenya, the first ever by a Polish president. And Mr. President, let me tell you, as Kenyans, we are excited. We don't take it for granted. We believe that this will be yet a turning point in the relations between our two countries, and that this is an opportunity to escalate the relations between our two countries and to give our business people the impetus and momentum for them to build a stronger relationship, unlock the potential that exists in many of our sectors. In the agricultural sector, for example, which is a backbone of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda, we have investment options, we have trade options. Many of the products that we farm in Kenya, from coffee, tea, avocados, and many other nuts and other products, are products that can find market in your country. And let me take this opportunity, Mr. President, to thank Poland for supporting Kenya as we worked on our economic partnership agreement with the European Union. Mr. President, as you are aware, at the close of last year, we became the first country in East and Central Africa to sign the economic partnership agreement between Kenya and 27 EU countries. And that would not have been possible without the support of Poland. And let me take this opportunity on behalf of the government and people of Kenya to thank you, Mr. President, for that much valued support. Your Excellency, in a space where climate change is ravaging the world with all the effects it has, from drought on one end, floods on another end, and everything in between, I am very happy that today we shared in the earlier meeting the opportunities that exist in water harvesting, water storage, and the technologies that the private sector can help in mobilizing for us to unlock the great potential for dam construction, for water storage in Kenya, as we focus in climate resilient farming and agricultural productivity. And I am looking forward to the private sector here exploring those opportunities. My Minister for Water is here. They have already instruments that will enable the private sector to be able to invest in water storage and water harvesting. We now have an instrument called the Water Purchase Agreement that can facilitate the private sector to be able to lock in financial resources to invest in that sector. Your Excellency, you and me are firmly united in the understanding that the fundamental objective of this endeavor is to actualize the promise of stability, security, well-being, and shared prosperity for the people through inclusive economic transformation by creating necessary conditions for wealth creation, for job creation, and also for eradication of poverty and the reduction of inequality, and making sure that we have a target on sustainable goals that we've all set out to achieve. We have to be, as a public sector, intentional and deliberate on making sure that the private sector have the requisite space to operate optimally with less bureaucracy, fewer hurdles and hoops to get across. And we will continue to engage so that in the public sector we can continuously eliminate challenges that the private sector face in their quest to invest, to do business, to trade, and to connect our countries. A facility from your great country of about 10 billion shillings to do matters of milk coolers across Kenya. We already have almost 35% of the coolers in country already installed, serving farmers. We are working on the extra 65% because it is our intention to increase our dairy productivity, especially milk productivity, from 5 billion liters to 10 billion liters in 5 years. I know the question that is exercising in your mind, and that is why we signed the MOU on matters to do with finance and tax, because you are wondering why our tax as a percentage of GDP is 15%, and tax as a percentage of GDP in Poland is upwards of 35%. We have a long way to go, and we will learn how Poland has managed to assemble its resources so that we can borrow less and raise our resources more. This MOUs, Your Excellency, creates an attractive business environment and investment climate, which will elevate our positioning as a country and give both Polish, European, and global investors a sound opportunity to invest in our country. Your Excellency, this dialogue we are having here, in my very honest opinion, is a golden opportunity to shape with you the compelling reasons which make Kenya an irresistible trade and investment destination for Polish business. First of all, our agenda focuses on agriculture, food security, and agriculture is special to us because we get 70% of our raw material from there. It employs a large part of our human capital, and it produces the largest portion of our exports.
Are offering to you today, to our Kenyan partners, to develop economic relations between our states across many different sectors in the spirit of mutual respect and mutual benefits. Let me take this opportunity and thank Kenya for supporting actions in the defense of the free world. Even more so that not all countries in Africa support this point of view. Thank you, Mr. President Ruto, for promoting this agenda, among others, by raising these important topics in the UN General Assembly. Distinguished Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that today's Polish-Kenyan high-level economic dialogue will be conducive to establishing new relations between our countries, and that it will become an important element driving our trade cooperation and investment cooperation. I also count on fruitful conversations between Polish and Kenyan companies and institutions. I believe that these discussions will help us to identify the areas of cooperation with the highest potential, and that soon we will move to implementing concrete projects. Let me thank you very warmly for organizing our meeting today. I'm absolutely delighted that here in Nairobi, Polish entrepreneurs have an opportunity to meet and share their experiences with their Kenyan partners. I believe that thanks to this meeting, new business relations will be established, that there will be trade contracts entered into, and that new people-to-people links will be shaped. I also hope that in the future we will have an opportunity to host you in Poland. I hope that perhaps you will come together with Mr. President Ruto as a big Kenyan delegation.